Right, welcome. This is Southwick Conservation Commission's meeting of May 4th, 2020. Present at our meeting, we have Commissioners Mehmet Mazanoglu, we have Doug McWilliams, Jerry Patria, Brian Pranka, Marissa Cook-Obregon, and Brian Drennan, as well as Brian Pranka. We also have select board members Joseph Dede and Douglas Moglen. And we have Lake Commission Norm is here as well with us. And we think we've got Jean coming in. There she is.
Hi, Jean.
And there's our secretary, Jean. We also have Ryan Nelson, who's just signed in. He's going to be speaking tonight on one of the projects that we're going to be having. And welcome, everyone.
Great.
Good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening. Okay, Dennis, do you have any updates that you'd like to bring us?
You want to start? You want to start with the minutes? Get that out of the way.
We'll do the minutes.
Let's do that.
Has everybody had a chance to look through the minutes?
Yep.
Look through them, they look great.
I love doing the minutes this way because it's very quick.
Yeah.
Is there anybody who found a correction they'd like to add? Jean, you found one?
I just got on. I missed everything you did so far. What
We
happened?
just opened up right when you got on is when
Okay.
so you're all set.
The only
Okay.
thing I see, Norm Cheevers, weren't you here for the first one?
Yeah, I was in on the phone.
Okay, I thought you were attending the first Zoom, and that you're not listed on here as being.
No,
in
I don't think he
attendance.
was here.
Okay, I'm back. My bad.
You can look back and see. We'll double
Jerry,
check.
are you trying to correct me? Is that what you're
No.
saying?
I wouldn't say that.
You better watch yourself, mister.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah, so I read through them, they look great. I would make a motion to accept the minutes as is.
Okay, I'll second that.
I'll
motion.
second that.
Anybody in?
I'm
All in
sorry,
favor?
who seconded?
Mehmet.
Okay, all in favor? Now
Aye.
we're gonna do a roll call for that. Jerry,
Yes.
what do you say?
Aye.
Mehmet, what do you say?
Aye.
Brian Drennan,
Aye.
Brian Pranka,
Aye.
Marissa,
Aye.
and David.
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
And-
that's everyone.
Chris, you
That's
too.
Brian Pranka's.
Because I'm
Chris.
using my big screen of my iPad.
You too, Chris.
I too. Aye,
Okay.
I said. Sorry.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, barring anything else, Dennis, do you have anything else before we head into our,
Well, the first hearing's not till 7:15, so if you want to get a few things out of the way.
that's what I'm asking you. Do you have anything you'd like to get out of the way? Do you have
Yes,
any
as a matter of fact,
updates on orders of conditions that we've done, or do you have any, what do I want to call them? Certificate of compliances or?
yeah, let's go down the list to start with that. Request for certificate of compliance. This is for Ridgeview Terrace, 13 Ridgeview Terrace. There was an order of conditions on the subdivision. There was no replication. There was no special conditions on it. I did go out, perform the site visit, found everything was in compliance, and I would recommend that the commission vote to issue a certificate of compliance for 13 Ridgeview Terrace.
Okay.
When were you out there, Dennis?
When did I go out there?
Yeah.
That was on Friday.
All right. I will make a motion to accept the certificate of compliance for 13, or was it Ridgeview?
13
Ridge-
Ridgeview.
Okay.
Ridgeview
Have a
Terrace.
second?
Second.
Who was that?
Mehmet, second.
Mehmet second. Okay. Jerry, what do you say?
Aye.
David, sorry.
Aye.
Brian Drennan,
Aye.
Marissa,
Aye.
did I do Jerry yet?
Yep.
Brian Pranka?
Aye.
Okay. You guys have it.
Next.
Go right down the list there, Dennis. on the
If you want to
bottom.
go right down the list, the authorization vote for electronic signatures. This is something I do not plan on using. But it would be good to have it just in case. If I can find this. Hold on. Right here somewhere. It's an authorization to use electronic signatures as authorized under the emergency and to let the agent for the commission sign. Okay, let me go back to Zoom, share screen. Here we go. This is the vote we need to take, and this will have to go to the town clerk and go through probably the legal. If the other boards are just going to do this also, they do it at once. But if we do it tonight, we'll have it ready for the town to take it. They have it recorded at the Registry of Deeds.
Okay, and this is something that we had discussed at the last meeting. David mentioned wondering about this, I believe.
You want to read number 1?
I have to make it bigger, Dennis. Uh-oh. Hold on, I did something wrong. There we
There you
are.
go.
Thank you. Okay, number 1 states at a properly called meeting, the municipal board or commission should formally vote that the board recognizes and accepts the provisions of Mass General Law CU 11 OG regarding electronic signatures, and that its members will henceforth execute documents either with electronic signatures or with wet ink signatures, and that both will carry the same legal weight and effect. So we can create our electronic signatures to be duly noted as legal document for our meetings. And I would be in favor of that, since it's a difficult thing for us to go around and get pen and ink signatures. I
Yeah.
believe that one or the other is required. So I would like to,
This is an example of the certificate of vote that other commissions have done. I just changed the name of the commission and myself on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works.
that'll work. So I would like to make a motion to accept the use of electronic signatures for our meetings.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hey, let me go through the list again.
And it would be to authorize the coordinator to use your electronic signatures to do that.
Right.
They do it with the DEP now, it's already allowed with them, but this would be for the registry, just so they have it on record.
All right, so that would save us some time and it would save a lot of work as far as the process goes.
Right.
So let me go through. Mehmet?
Aye.
Who made the motion? David?
David.
You made it.
You made the motion, David seconded.
David seconded it? Okay, Mehmet, what do you say?
Aye.
Jerry Patria?
Aye.
Brian Pranka?
Aye.
Marissa?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
And that's it. Okay, so
Don't
we're,
forget, there's two Brians, Chris, so make
well, I
sure-
said Brian Pranka, so I figured Brian Drennan could figure out the second one, even though I didn't state his last name.
All right.
Okay. But for the record, yes, they both voted yes.
That was unanimous, correct?
Unanimous, yes. Okay, next on our list.
All right, next on our list, we have a proposed LPP application date extension until July 1st. Because of the way things are, we're giving extensions. The town is giving extensions on most local bylaws. I believe this is going to go to a select board meeting.
It has already,
It has already, Gene?
and it was voted, accepted by the select board.
Great.
Okay, so it means we can't give out any fines or anything until after July 1st. So we have some time, people have some time to get their affairs in order, get their permitting in order.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
go ahead.
Conservation properties and social distancing signage. We've been putting up, I worked with Tammy, the new health inspector, and she was kind enough, her and Jean printed up a bunch of nice laminated signs that we're able to put on conservation properties to ask people to socially distance while they were there, just to be respectful. And we're trying to do all the properties. We've got North Pond, Sofinowski Preserve. Mehmet and I went up to the Rising Corner on Sunday, and we put up some no motorized vehicle signs and also put up the socially distancing signs.
Yeah. Now, are you putting
Dennis,
them
what
in the
properties are
kiosk,
left?
Dennis, or any other places of entry?
Excuse me?
Are you putting them up in just the kiosks or other places of entry as well, or?
Wherever we can find a place of entry, yeah. Which brings me to, I think the next step is to go to North Pond Shore and put some signs up right on the shore itself.
Yeah.
We've been discussing doing that.
I think that would be needed. I was out there yesterday and it's like a regular party going on, so.
Yeah, I talked to the police chief today, and I talked to Tammy, wrote to Tammy, and I have some lawn signs that we can stick in the ground and put some nice socially distancing signs on there
Okay.
to try to remind people.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't as busy as it normally can get, but, you know, it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was socially distanced. So I think it'd be good to put up
It's going
signs.
to be hard to police, but at least we can have people
Right.
keep it in mind.
Well, I think we should at least do our part and, you know, put some signage
Right.
out there.
And if
Dennis,
anybody
is
else,
North Pond the only other property that we have to worry about?
there are a couple of, we should go through all of them that we have in conservation jurisdiction. The Granville Gorge, we did that with Tammy. That was done last week and we opened it. She's
Okay.
the one that recommended that it stays open. And at that time is when she gave us some signs. We posted that area
Right.
down there. And if any other place you can think of, we'll get some more signs out and get them up wherever we can.
Where are the signs now, Dennis? Because I can run down to North Pond and tack those up if you want. I just need to know where to grab them.
Okay, well, I'll get in touch with you tomorrow because I'm going to see if we have, I think that we have somebody that's going to actually make some signs for us, but in the meantime, Tammy can get us some nice laminated signs. I'll meet up with you. We can take the lawn signs and walk them down there, put them in the shore if they're available.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. I'm around tomorrow and Wednesday, so.
Super.
Dennis, how you doing on hardware? You need some more?
Yes, thank you very much for the stainless steel screws and washers. They worked out well. We still have a few more signs to put up at the Rising Corner at the New England Scenic Trail. We got a couple more that still need to go towards the Bowman's Club, right on the property there at the edge. It'd say no motorized vehicles, and we can put up a social distancing sign there also. If somebody
Right.
gets the opportunity, they want to go out there. I think Marissa was talking about she would volunteer to do some of that work. So
Yeah, I can do some of
we
that
can
this
find enough volunteers to do that. Fantastic.
So you want some more hardware, or are you all set then?
We're good for the hardware right now. We're good for that. We've got
Okay.
enough. I don't know if we should take down the signs that had no motorized vehicles that Jerry put tape over beyond this point. They're functioning. They're fine where they are. I don't think that we need to remove those.
I
Yeah,
think we can leave those.
Redundancy is good, so
Yeah.
leave them
The
up.
tape is old and it doesn't look bad.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, they look pretty good.
The duct tape is holding.
Yeah, nice job, Jerry. Nice job. The next thing on the agenda is the Finance Committee meeting, but I think we only got a couple minutes here, so we should let Ryan get set up for the hearing for
Yeah.
7 to 9 Lakeview Street. You are ready to go, Ryan?
Yep, I'm ready to go.
Okay, Ryan, so you may begin when you are good to go. This is continuation of 7 and 9 Lakeview Street. It's a project of a one home and on 2 parcels with the raising of a building on the second parcel and some regrading.
Correct.
Okay.
So at the last meeting, we had submitted revised plans that addressed DPW's comments about the subsurface stormwater drainage for roof runoff, the individual sewer connections, site grading, groundwater. All of that was addressed and revised and presented at the last meeting, but not enough time for DPW to review. Since then, Randy Brown has reviewed, and he sent an email, I believe, last Friday, stating that he reviewed the revised plans of stormwater drainage, and he one additional comment that the revised stormwater report shows a decrease in peak discharge post-development for the various rain events. But on lot 80, these calculations only consider the regrading and not the construction of the new home, driveway, or other impervious. With the applicant consultant, DPW understands that the development on lot 80 has not yet been determined. That said, at a time when lot 80 is developed, the applicant should update the stormwater report and provide any necessary stormwater design in order for the entire development. Lots 80, 80.1, and 80.2 meet the stormwater standards. So that we anticipated. Right now, as stated, we don't have a build out proposed for this other lot, but we would be to accommodate and re-analyze stormwater at that time. We do have some notes on the plan stating that same surface detention chambers will be used. So this site would be constructed the same way as this house here. That's the subject to this permit.
Where are the basins going to be?
So there's subsurface stormwater chambers right here. They're Storm Tech SC310 chambers, and there's going to be a row in the backyard right here.
They'll be above the groundwater level?
Yeah, yep. That cross-section profile we showed last time. So the 2-foot separation from the bottom of the chambers.
Okay.
And that would be consistent in the future with the other home that would be built. To be similar in location, elevation. We just aren't sure now because the location would be. So I think we've addressed all the DPW comments with the one condition being that when this house on parcel 80 goes to be built, that stormwater be considered at that time.
And I think the commission had the same general view on this project, that the grading in the one house would be permitted, but when the second dwelling comes in, it will most likely have to get some new permitting because, you know, where the yard is going to be, the driveway and all of that.
Right.
That's what we discussed. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So we're only approving the house being built now and the grading on the pavilion being demolished, correct?
Correct.
Correct. The only thing we haven't really discussed is a bond amount, how much we want to have for a bond on this project.
Do you see any reason not to do the typical 10,000?
I do not.
I mean, that's our normal for a resident, proposal. So I think barring any unforeseen circumstances here, it's a flat parcel. I don't foresee any big issues going on. So I would think the 10,000 would be good with me.
All right, so we have the standard order of conditions written up as we do it normally on all the projects, and put in the $10,000 bond. And
10,000.
is there anything else before you close the hearing that we need to discuss?
Anybody have any questions or comments that they'd like to add? Or okay, I'll take a motion to close the hearing.
Move to close the hearing.
Okay, was that Jerry who made the motion?
That was Mehmet.
Mehmet made the motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, Jerry seconded.
Right.
Dave, what do you say?
I say aye.
All right, Brian Pranka.
I say aye as well.
All right. Marissa,
Aye.
what do you say?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, this is just to close the hearing. This isn't a vote on the project yet. We do the close of the hearing first, and then we're going to vote on the project. So Brian Drennan,
Aye,
so you got your last name right this time.
you did.
I've gotten everybody, even I say aye, Gene? In case you're wondering.
I don't say aye.
Okay, you don't need to say aye. Okay, now I will take a motion on the project as amended and presented.
I'll second.
Who made the motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the plans as revised.
And your name? State
Brian
your name.
Drennan.
And a second,
Second. Dave.
Dave McWilliams.
Yes.
And so let me go to Jerry. What do you say?
Aye.
I say aye as well. Marissa, what do you say?
Aye as well.
Yes. Marissa, your vote on the project?
Aye. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
You guys hear me?
I did that time.
Okay, cool.
Did I miss anybody?
Me.
Mr. Pranka.
Mr. Pranka, what do you
Yes,
say?
please.
Both
Aye,
of them.
please.
Okay, I think that's unanimous. This is interesting because I can't see everybody's faces, right, because of the display on the screen.
You gotta scroll down, yeah.
I did, but then I get some
There you go.
there.
We're all there now.
Thank you, Ryan.
Ah, the
There we go.
Brady view.
Yes, that's better for me.
So that was unanimous?
I'm trying, yes, I believe that was unanimous. So I think the project is good to go.
With the bond, right? The bond is mentioned in there?
For $10,000.
Okay.
Yep, and so Dennis, how do they proceed with filing this now?
I am going to take the document to 4 commissioners and have them hand sign it, along with the certificate of compliance that you already voted on. I'll just, put it at your front door. You can sign it. It'll be a wet signature on this.
Anybody wear your gloves?
Face mask.
Okay, use your own pen. Don't leave the one he left for you. Just a warning.
That's right.
All right.
Right?
Gene has my official signing pen.
Uh-oh.
Can you hang around for a minute, Ryan?
Sure, yep.
We're going to just skip on the agenda for a second, go to the baseline report for the greens. Have we
Okay.
done any revisions on that yet? We discussed at the last meeting about the vernal pool and the access to 20-foot wide access that should be in the report.
Yep, I remember that. We haven't made any changes yet. I think Rob's last email, we were waiting until we had all town comments before we made any revisions.
okay.
I'm not sure.
All right.
That makes sense.
Yeah. We will make sure that if there's any more comments, we'll get them to you this week. So the next meeting, hopefully we'll have something to review, to approve for the
Okay, yeah,
report.
that's doable. That won't take long. So, sure.
Super.
Cool.
You want to go to the, thank you, Ryan.
All right, thank you
Have a
guys.
good night.
Appreciate it.
You're
Take
right.
care.
If you want to go to the recreational open space online mapping status,
That would be great.
Chris and I have been working with CAI on developing an online map to show recreational properties. Let me see if I can pull up one of the examples.
I
Doo-doo-doo.
thought we did that. Okay. All right.
Gonna desktop, that's you. Opportunities. I wanted to show you an example, but did I send everybody the link to the site that we're working on? Chris, you got a link to that site, didn't you?
I think you did. You did. I'm pretty sure you did. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the ArcGIS Ignite Services one.
Yes.
Yep.
And that was sent out. You sent it to me Friday.
Yeah, Friday he sent us the examples. There's 3 different examples there. A lot of it's placeholders. They put some verbiage in there just to show what could be done and some pictures that we can add to the properties. So each property, when you click on the map itself, will bring you to the information on the property and pictures of the property, tell you when it's open, what you can and can't do there. And we're going to have control over it, so we'll be able to modify it. We don't have to keep going back to the CAI to do it. We're going to have editing capabilities. A couple of us will anyway.
Good.
Let's see. Let me go back to this is we had the FinCom meeting. There it is. I was kind of disappointed that there was no other commissioners there on Monday, but I realized after talking to Chris and Dave that it really wasn't clear on the agenda that they were going to be discussing the Conservation Commission. Actually, when I talked to Robin, the secretary, she told me they were not going to be discussing the Conservation Commission. We did talk with we had some people from the Agricultural Commission, and that wasn't on the agenda either, although they said it was set for 6 o'clock, and we talked about, it was about 5:45 when they actually had us on. So they don't have the agendas. They don't run their agendas like we do. We have everything listed down here, but I'm assuming that it would be budget, FY21 budget development document status with accounting staff that it was under. But I'm sorry, I didn't realize that they were going to be going into detail about.
I think it would be nice in the future if they're going to be discussing certain boards that they maybe notify them that they'll be having conversation.
I would think that would just be intertown courtesy.
I wasn't really prepared because I didn't realize they were going to go in depth into detail. And they had some questions that I wasn't prepared to answer. And I apologize. I was not prepared, and I thought that we might have some other members here, but I understand now after seeing the agenda why you wouldn't think that they would be discussing that. So
No.
it did go to the select board meeting. I don't know if Gene has any details on that. I do not.
As far as what the select board talked about?
Yeah, for the Concom budget.
No.
All right, we'll see what we can do. I think there was a FinCom meeting, then there was a select board meeting, and then I think there's a third meeting, a reconciliation meeting. Maybe we can get into that. Maybe somehow we can have some kind of presence at that meeting just to figure out how this works and what's going on. Because I believe that everything got denied. I'm pretty sure everything for conservation got denied.
Well, it'd be nice to know why. A little bit of input.
Moving along, the status of algae treatment for Congamon Lakes. Chris, do you have an update on that?
I do not have an update on that. I believe they should be pretty much done. I've seen some boats on South Pond last. Jerry, have you seen any boats out on South Pond?
Yeah, I talked to Ken a couple days ago. He stopped by and we chatted for about 20 minutes. I guess they're planning on finishing up on Wednesday.
Okay.
They still have their setup over at Krabby Joe's, but the boat was out today and they're doing it. And we also discussed the fish kill a little bit, and he doesn't think that the amount of fish that were found dead have anything to do with the treatment. They were doing some testing on it though, because they were concerned about it.
Right.
But I did tell him we were having a meeting tonight, and maybe to get an invite sent to him, but I'm not sure if that happened or not. So, but he said he'd be glad to come and fill us in. But that's the gist of it, pretty much. Finishing up on Wednesday, and from what I can see, they're doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, I mean.
So once they're done on Wednesday, that's it? The treatment is done, and we just sit back and wait after that?
I believe so. And he was also out there doing some metrics. I saw him measuring stuff in the middle. So he's in that little teeny boat that kind of
Yeah, they're
follows.
they'll continue to do the monitoring after, for a while after they've done the treatment. So
Mm.
they'll keep a track on how the changes occur within the lake system.
Right.
Um,
And I imagine when you see those two big green things going from Krabby's parking lot, they'll be,
Yeah,
They'll
the
be
storage
done.
tanks and, yeah. I
they'll be
think
done.
that's great.
Yeah. So,
Okay,
So the enforcement order for 112 Sunnyside Road, I believe Dave McWilliams is working on some kind of arrangement with Mr. Kudlick. Dave, do you have any progress on that?
No, we haven't gotten anywhere on that. I do owe him a call though, so I'll follow up at the next meeting.
okay.
I see that Dick Rennells at Lucia Lumber is running a real good special on lumber because they're clearing out their place. I don't know if you got that information,
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's
Wow.
a good call.
Yeah,
but yeah, if you could get in touch with Mr. Kudlick as soon as possible, it'd be nice to get that trail finished while it's been a few years.
Oh,
that'd
yeah.
be really nice. For people who might want to tune in later, the project would be working on the trail behind the town hall, the swamp walk, they call it. You have to finish up the walkway on that so that it's ADA accessible. So
Mm.
we're
Yeah.
hoping that we have some participation from Mr. Kudlick to help with completing that project.
Yeah, the big thing is really getting the rails up, just making sure that we get the rails up and they're compliant, ADA compliant. That's the big thing.
Right. And Dennis, I do have that document you sent me now. I found it back in my email on my computer. I had it on my phone, but you want me to share my screen so that everybody can see it?
Please.
All right.
There we go.
So I believe this is the right one.
That's one of them. That's
Okay.
not the last one. That's the second one.
So it has information, it has the map
Mhm.
of the different areas. Now we're starting to add Sofinowski property and of course the lakes. Here we have the state managed property.
Mhm.
This is Goose Pond area down here at the bottom.
Mhm.
So Dennis, are you adding these in on the ArcView or are they doing it now?
Right now, he's mocked these up. This coming week, he's going to start giving me, teaching me how to do it myself. We're going to do it on his website, and then we're going to transfer it over to the town's web, GIS, ArcGIS.
Right.
And
So
then-
these are overlays on the state maps, but we talked about maybe, I don't know, not including all of the elevations or,
Yeah, I think the less complicated it is, just to have the basic map with a different color with a legend for each property. So
Mhm.
when you look at the color or the pattern, you can go to the legend and specifically see what that property is.
then we could add in information afterwards if we wanted to, as far as difficulty of hiking or, things like that.
He
So I
said it's
think
all,
Just a question, right? So you keep scrolling up and down, Chris,
Yes,
but Granville Gorge doesn't change, right? And we're obviously not looking at Granville Gorge.
no, that's not Granville Gorge. This is a different town, I believe.
like I say, this is a mock-up, that he's just showing what can be done. This is Rising Corner we're
Right.
looking at right now.
That was Rising Corner. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think so is this one.
So it's a work in progress. This is just to get an idea of what things would look like.
I was
Mm.
told it's all cut and paste. If we have the information, we can just cut it out of one document and paste it right in here. So
Right,
that's not going to be that won't be the difficult part.
right. And the maps will be interactive, so you can click on a parcel and it tells you the information about it. We can add more information about it. And edit whatever we want. Okay. Oops.
Will this be available through the town website or?
We're hoping.
There's going to be a link, a direct link from the town website to this site.
So
When do you think it'll be up and going?
we'd also like to add, pictures on there later on, kind of like Instagram-ish kind of stuff, where people can put some pictures on of the scenery at that place so people know what to expect when they go there. Although we have to figure out some logistics as far as maybe monitoring those for content. I don't know. We have to figure that part out.
Pictures, yeah.
When do you think
Maybe
that'll
they
go
would go to
live?
Dennis and he would put them on if they were appropriate.
I'll just keep sending, we'll keep sending the commissioners links to this site as we go along. If anybody has any ideas, we'd be happy to incorporate those.
Good idea.
Please.
It's a nice interface. It seems very user friendly. So that's
Yeah, a
nice.
lot of them are now. It's pretty easy. I've looked at creating one on my own before, and a lot of it is cut and paste. They have the formats all done. All you do is input the information. But as far as interfacing it with the town website and everything else, it gets a little messy.
I mean, is the idea to have this be something that the public can look at if they want to learn more about the town, or is it specifically more for people within the conservation community in Massachusetts? Or like, who's the intended audience, I guess, like ideally?
Basically, anybody that likes to be outdoors. It'd be for the general public.
It'll be accessible to everybody, right? I mean, anyone that goes to the website, and I think maybe, yeah. I mean, is it going to be under Concom? Is it going to be under the town?
Well, I think
What will it be under?
we're kind of managing the open space areas that these are under right now, so I believe it would be under us.
I wouldn't think you'd want to put it under us, only because it will be hidden. If you open
Yeah.
the town website, it's recreational town,
Oh, I
right?
thought you meant who would be in charge of it. Sorry.
Okay.
No. It sounds like, yeah.
Put a link right on the main page, right on, as soon as you click onto the site.
Yeah.
Have a recreational map, opportunities map right there you can go to, so you don't have to navigate through any different boards or commissions or committees.
Right.
But thanks for finding that, Chris. That's excellent.
Great. Really
You're
good.
welcome.
The next thing on the agenda is 6163 College Highway. That's been ongoing for quite a while. Stormwater status, we're not really sure of. We have a new building inspector coming on board, and hopefully once he gets up to speed, we can figure out, as far as I know, they have not had their stormwater permit approved. I've driven by there. It looks like the silt fences and hay bales are in place. I know they're doing a lot of work out there, working on the stormwater. Hopefully that's what they're doing. But like I say, until we have the new building inspector and all of the stormwater information, we won't know what the status of, I don't know what the status of it is right now.
It doesn't look like it's changed much since
2 years
Jim
ago.
and I looked at it,
They had machinery out there. They were working. I don't know what they were doing. Hopefully they were doing to make the rain gardens and all the stuff that was in the stormwater plan they presented. Request for certificate of compliance for Granville Road for the new culvert they just put in last year. Randy Brown requested that the commission not grant a certificate of compliance on that project until he's satisfied that everything is stabilized. And I agree that we don't want to give a certificate of compliance on a project that he's not satisfied with, or if it's not stabilized properly. So
Right.
that'll just stay on the agenda until they do it right. And then
And that's for the culvert that they had done.
the culvert and the stabilization. They did do the rocks inside of the culvert. They did do the natural stream bed that we were asking for. That looked pretty good to me. Randy's just concerned about a couple of other areas that look like might be erodible areas that he wants to ensure that that doesn't become a problem down the road.
Right. That makes sense.
Tree removal, 81 Point Grove Road. I don't know if we're all familiar with the culvert by the PB&J Marina. There's a tree that's right there as you go in the culvert, and it appears as though that tree is dying and could fall. We had Randy Brown, the tree warden, look at it. Randy confirmed that it should be removed.
Now,
No.
Dennis, but there is a nest of woodpeckers in there right now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I told Steve that, and he's a little bummed
Okay.
that I had to notice that for him.
We haven't signed off on it yet, Chris, so that's gonna be a call for the commission to decide that.
Huh.
The tree is in
Delay
a
it?
tough shape.
Delay?
Maybe they could leave part of the tree, leave the stump and
They can top it.
stop it.
Is
The
time,
tree removal at Granville Gorge, it's not even a full-size tree, it's just a small tree right at the entryway. It's entangled in the power lines, but it looks like it's gonna come down over the driveway. Randy took a look at that. And, nobody wants to touch it except for the Eversource or the people that actually do the lines out there, anything that
Yeah, I
has
think
power.
they would be responsible for it anyway.
So we'll wait and see if he can get somebody from the company to go out there and clear that out for us.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
Float for the 250th celebration.
we need plans.
Got to
We
start
have a
drawing up.
conveyance, we need plans.
Brian Franken had a whole bunch of nice ideas.
I haven't seen them in writing.
Well, he had a waterfall with fish and I don't know, things.
Fishing poles, fishing
Fishing
poles.
poles.
Not fish.
Can you give us the dimensions of how much area we've got to work with, how big the float is going to be?
Yeah, it's a, what is it? It is a 28-foot trailer is
Wow.
the length.
Wow.
And
Same
the
one as
width,
last time, Dave?
yeah, we're actually gonna work on, Andy and I are gonna work on a trailer for the senior class tomorrow night.
Oh, nice.
And, yeah, so once that's done, we've got all the building material. Anything we could want to build on that thing, we have, and we can do it. Just need conceptual ideas. So at some point, if we're gonna go, if we definitely want to do it, we want to start mocking up what it's gonna look like and what we're gonna need. to do.
When are
You
you
think-
going to be down there, Dave?
What's that?
When are you going to be down there looking at get a
We're
visual
gonna
of what that
be,
trailer looks like?
so, I mean, we're gonna be working on the trailer tomorrow night. We're gonna build a 10-foot wall on it. And if you want to come by and get a look at the trailer and get a sense, we'll probably be down there like 6:30, Brian.
Okay.
Dave, do you think there's enough room for the Agricultural Commission to get a little space on that float too, or?
Do they have a band?
We can put something together.
All right.
I'll
Where are we
talk-
going to put the tiki hut?
But yeah, there's a lot of room on that float, so,
All right.
or on that trailer.
Maybe if we get pulled by a tractor, that could be their part, you know, I don't know.
It's
There you
pretty
go.
heavy. I mean, it's gonna have to be a decent sized tractor. It is
Yeah.
pretty.
We'll get an Agricultural Commission tractor out there to pull it.
There you go.
I got a tractor. I don't know if it's going to pull it. That's why I want to see. I see the trailer and see what's going to weigh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, so the trailer is an old cigarette boat trailer that we built a wooden deck, just like you would build off the back of your house,
Huh.
the length of it.
Yeah.
And we use it for our ATVs. We can bring 8 ATVs on it.
Wow,
That's how
okay.
big it is.
Okay.
I mean, my tractor's 33 horse, so I don't. It's just a matter of weight on the back of the tractor. That's all.
Yeah.
The last thing on the agenda I see is the fencing for Woodland Ridge open space. So we got
We
that.
have a quote. I passed it on to Gene. As soon as that gets signed off on, they'll deliver the fencing.
I already have a purchase order for it.
Oh, you do? Okay. Great.
Dave, you asked me. I did it.
You're the best. Can you just send me the PO number? Just email it to me, or do you want to give it to me right now?
No, I'm not in the office and I will not be there tomorrow, but I will be in on Wednesday and I can.
That's
give you the
fine. That's
purchase
fine.
order.
As soon as we get him the PO, he'll drop off the wood. We're gonna wind up putting it in ourselves, so. that
And
was
we're
not-
going to need an actual invoice. What he gave you was a quote.
Okay. Yep,
Now,
that's fine.
I noticed, Chris, I noticed that we skipped over the public comments. Do you want to see if there's anybody out there that would like to make a public comment while we're here?
Does anybody like to make a public comment? Norm?
Well, we still haven't had any meetings.
Okay,
So I have no updates.
all right, that's fine.
Okay.
Mr. Moglen?
Nope, you guys are doing great.
Okay, Mr. Didi, anything? All right,
Okay.
I think we're free and clear of that then.
Excellent.
Great.
Next
Is
meeting
that
is,
everything on the agenda?
next meeting is scheduled for the May 18th, I believe.
Yeah, let's, we'll continue with our regularly scheduled meetings. We'll continue the Zoom process as needed.
Great.
Maybe even longer, because I kind of like this. No chocolate from Gene. I can keep my weight
Yeah,
down.
there's no
Yeah,
candy.
trust me, you're gonna want to give me chocolate pretty soon,
Yeah,
okay?
there's no candy.
Virtual candy or something. I don't know.
Right.
I'll give you my PO box. You can mail it to me.
Sounds good.
All right, Dennis, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Does anybody want to make a motion to adjourn?
Happy to. I make a motion. We're out of here.
Hey, Dave McWilliams makes a motion to adjourn. A second.
Second, Mehmet.
And that second, all in favor? Jerry?
Aye.
Ryan Franca?
Hi.
Marissa Cook Obergun?
Aye.
Ryan Drennan?
Aye.
And Mehmet, you are all set. And Jerry, you're all set.
Aye.
We're all set.